So this is a role we have been consciously building towards since over 1 year now. And our objective is that a T-Works or mission should go just beyond the facilities. So we are operating across different verticals. That means engineering and fabrication, electronics, defense innovations, as well as testing certifications. The concept is that industry and innovators should be able to access knowledge, infrastructure, and support, which we need to move from concept to market. That is why today we have requested all your presence, and we are very grateful to see our industry leaders here, because as we know and we have been discussing with you that we would love you to co-locate your R&D and engineering efforts here, so that we become an extension of R&D for you. We understand you have your own R&D teams, but at the same time, when you come here, you have understood that we can help to take the invention from TRL 5 to TRL 9 on a much faster basis. That is why we would like to help you to support your Make in India dreams and ultimately enable the manufacturing ecosystem of the country. So we are not the manufacturers, but what we will be doing is working with you, developing the products, and then enabling the ancillary units, the manufacturing units to take it and go forward. With this, I would like to say that today's gathering is a very important step in our journey.
Incubate the Make in India theme, basically Atmanirbhar Bharat. Our chief guest is here. Aerial arrow you had seen from a perspective of bringing MRL 4 to an MRL 8 innovation, and that's where you can take that innovation back to your industry. So I would like everyone to introduce themselves very quickly, because we are running short of time, but very quickly, and then be vocal about maybe a kind of a sentence around what your problems are. Our chief guest also to kind of give his views, what he's thinking nationally from India perspective, because it is not about Telangana, it's about India, making India as the center for innovation, center for R&D, center for engineering. That's what his thought is, and I think he's thinking in the next level when we met him last time.
Only a couple of observations that Telangana's industrial development, everybody is aware. We are supposed to be one of the third or fourth most industrialized states when you take the per capita in the industry presence. But there we have seen that when it comes to manufacturing sector, still Tamil Nadu is by far, from any standards, is sitting at the top of the pecking order. Since you people are here, one, I would like to listen that what makes Tamil Nadu so special when it comes to manufacturing. I mean, is it the availability of skilled manpower, or is availability of conducive policies, or is it a lack of port? Lack of port appears very obvious, but same was the situation when the state was combined as Andhra Pradesh. But that cannot be the only reason, because why we have not gone to that level. Second part regarding T-Works, we proudly say that it is one of the largest prototyping centers, but its R&D part, which we need to showcase to all the industries that we can do R&D also. But at the same time, I suppose that every industry must be having its own in-house R&D facility. Twin objectives, what I want you to respond. One, where does T-Works fit in when it comes to R&D and prototype vis-a-vis the industry where in-house R&D facility? What kind of value addition or what kind of synergy T-Works can bring with the in-house R&D facilities of the industries? Second part, how to make it more relevant, because our mandate is not only limited to the geographical boundaries of the state. We would like to become a national organization. We would like the national R&D problems of industry to be given to us, where we can do value addition. So here also I would like to know your opinion. As such, the way T-Works is operating, because I am new to this post only 3.5 months before I joined. But the kind of progress is neighboring T-Hub has made. How to achieve that kind of success when it comes to prototyping in R&D part. So these are the things. If I want to listen to you, I can give a long talk, but that will not, as an administrator, I have come here to get some inputs to make T-Works more useful. So that with this talk, I will request everybody to, whoever wants to respond, please respond. If required, I'll come in between the speak again. Thank you.
At different parts. So what we have done is that we've really looked at the industry to see where we want to go. As an industry, we are still at a very nascent phase. But Telangana, of course, is doing very well. But we need to do many things, which to take it forward. To do that. So as part of keywords, we identified some areas where we can work. As you asked, I don't know whether they have my slide there. If they can show me only one, just to identify that we have identified at a national level about 11 areas to focus on, with the Ministry of Civil Aviation as well and the MODs as well. And some of them are common to other industries. Like we may have to have additional, capabilities along with T-Works. That's something, we can take that forward. Because today, aerospace, we are very small in the global supply chain. We are only 1%. But in the next 10 to 20 years, there's going to be a significant growth globally, and India can actually take that opportunity. But we need to be prepared in order to take that opportunity. That's what I wanted to show. So this is one. We have identified at a national level about 10 or 11 areas. To really focus, doing a lot of build to print, including the big companies like Tata's, for example, areas we are focusing. How do we do that? And there are some ideas we're discussing with T-Works as well. We have startups like J Aerospace here, with whom we are looking at saying how do we really try and incubate this. That's one of the areas we are looking at. The second area is manufacturing excellence in terms of how do we, as we talked about the TRL. Yeah, please.
The very important focus areas for Telangana state. So this designing part, what you said, it's quite interesting. One or two examples.
Yes, we can do that.
Because we have already earmarked land only for aero defense sector, close to the airport.
Yeah.
So this sector we are looking at with a lot of expectation, because we have got MRO for Safran military engine aircraft.
Yeah.
Then civil already is there, Tatas are there.
Yeah.
So this part is missiles and all. Anyway, it's happening. We have got all the defense public sector undertakings. There, in designing part, I feel that as far as knowledge partners are concerned, we have. Probably we may be having sufficient technical manpower. I'm not sure the people are experts. So how it can, T-Works can fit in, maybe just one or two examples.
What's happening is that today, most of the suppliers are taking the design coming from outside of India and then manufacturing. So what we need to do is that there are specific areas where we need to bring industry, academia, as well as the government together, really to push that. If I take an example, avionics design or systems design, there are lots of companies who want to do, but they don't know that in order to have a center of excellence, here in T-Works, to start promoting the design activity. This is one of the areas we want to explore, to see how. So, and then there are a few other areas, raw materials at a government, central government level. The fourth point, unfortunately, it's not coming out well there. It's a common facilities, which we are looking at. Some of it can be done with T-Works, but some others need to have an adjacent facility. Like, for example, specific aerospace. For the MSMEs, they can't invest in the testing facility or surface treatment capabilities and other things. I understand from Ministry of Civil Aviation that there are facilities in Shamshabad. If you move to that, there are several others, which are at the central government level, like the regional transport aircraft, which you probably heard, and other things. But the third area, which we really want to focus on, is the one at the last right, which is the employee executive development and aerospace skilling. We need not just the blue collar skilling, we need white collar skilling as well, and at some stage even at the executive level.
Skilling, or I would say upskilling and reskilling of the executives or the employees at the organization or the establishment level. And all these latest technologies, we have now, if I would say, we have the infrastructure for it, but if there is no upskilling of the employees, this will not work. I'm sure the industry will relate to this. And we are working as the Sector Skill Council, we're working with the industry bodies to get this done. So definitely we'll bring in industry for that, and we can do this in collaboration with people.
Sir, electronics and semiconductor industry is really going through a very exciting time and one of the fastest growing industry in India. Means India, which used to contribute 5% of the global electronics, by 2030 will.
What Telangana can do?
Yes, so I'm coming to that directly. So yesterday, in fact, Joginder sir, Vivek, we had a very good session about what TWorks can do in this revolution of electronics and semiconductor. So three areas we have identified. Firstly, automotive electronics and electric vehicle. Okay, there is lot to be done in this because today most of the electric vehicle ecosystem for battery management system, motor control, or everyone is talking about localization, local support for the solution, utility meters and solar inverter, renewable energy. That will be another area we will be focusing. Sir, we will not focus on mobile phone, IT hardware, or telecom infrastructure because that industry, I don't think will ever come to India. We will continue to do kit assembly for Apple, Samsung, Oppo, Vivo, Xiaomi, or Dell, HP, Acer, Lenovo. I don't think that ecosystem will evolve. But three areas what we identified: firstly, automotive electronics; secondly, industrial electronics; thirdly, aerospace and defense. And what we are going to do, the critical need today of this industry, sir, is about value addition. Sir, today we are doing only assembly job, electronics manufacturing services with 10 to 15% value addition. And when the industry will go to $400 billion, if we continue at 15%, our recognition will be only 60 billion. So TWorks is going to address this challenge. How we can improve the value addition in electronics. And the major value is into IP and technology and product innovation. Today we have great talent. 20% of the semiconductor design manpower.
Very novel concept is the automotive electronics and other kind of electronics we're talking about. Since already we had one day session with that, we discussed with my team for a day. So as an administrator, my task, I would like to know that to take this experiment or initiative further, what we have in house, how much capacity addition we need to do, and in case we need to do some capacity addition, how to identify the resources. If you can just shed some light, that would be great.
Secretary, what today those startups we are in, so we have decided we will create a good mentor pool. Secondly, test and measurement equipment and characterization and certification. If they have to export to Europe or US, what all certifications are required? TWorks will enable those validation as well as certification so that those startups are successful.